like to go back something.
Yeah, sure.
So the fact that you said it looks so perfect that you walked right by it.
Yeah.
And it didn't even look like it was a historical artifact. It's very interesting.
Well, it did look like a historical artifact, but it just looked so pristine and like well kept that I just assumed that it was a prop.
Okay.
So it was like, I don't know. It was so strange. I just didn't. So I guess I'm just been to a couple museums where they make a lot of props, and I'm just not. I just don't automatically assume that that's the real thing. I guess I don't know where they would have kept the real thing, but
Dress for success.
Dress for success. Yeah, that's the title of this episode. So
oh, you called it.
All right. So the Dayton Journal actually didn't think they were important enough to cover. So the Virginia pilot, ironic, the Virginia pilot, ended up catching wind of the story.
Yeah.
And they printed an air-ridden account that was picked up by multiple other papers. So the Dayton Journal didn't want to do it, and they were the pretty big paper back then in the area. But the Virginia pilot caught wind and went and picked up the story, and they got it completely wrong. They were given all kinds of wrong facts. They probably made it sound, way bigger, longer of a flight than it actually was, that kind of stuff. And then a bunch of other papers picked it up and were like, yeah, that's an awesome story. Let's also write about it. So now the entire country does not have the right facts about the first flight in American history.
So what are the right facts? That's crazy though. That like it's like playing a game of telephone and
basically, yeah.
So
the right facts. The right facts are that they flew 120 feet and, for 12 seconds and, it was 4 times the original day. I mean, that's all there was to it. And they got it wrong. I don't know how they got it wrong, but eventually the Dayton Journal, I guess found out that everybody else was getting it wrong. Maybe the Wright brothers were like, guys, they're getting it wrong. Please just write the right story. The right story.
There are too many puns for this. Stop being a dad, Dillon.
All right, I'm sorry. I love the puns. But eventually the Dayton Journal wrote up an official and accurate story. So back to the airplane and the Smithsonian. The funny thing about them having Neil Armstrong's suit in the same room as the Wright Flyer is that he actually took a piece of the propeller and a part of the wing inside of his suit with him to the moon.
You're telling me the first plane to achieve, the first in flight has been to the moon and back, and we don't even know that. That's crazy. They don't talk about that at the museum in Kitty Hawk at all, and that is crazy.
Yeah.
We're linking this whole thing to space.
Yes, we're linking the whole thing with space. I mean, as you can see behind me, I'm floating in a nebula right now. So, yeah, I didn't even know that until recently after I was looking all this up, that he flew up there with a piece. He thought it was such a, monumental piece of history that he felt lucky enough that they would even let him take a piece of it with him to the moon. So the Wright brothers, had they been alive, they would have been able to see a piece of their aircraft go to the moon. And you know how much it costs to send stuff to space. It ain't cheap. So, I mean, I guess everybody was on board with that.
And they died not knowing that. Well, think about this. So think about if you or your brothers created some piece of maybe spacecraft.
Yeah.
Or maybe like, I don't know, anything, right? Invented something new. And it went all the way to Mars, but you died before knowing that. Or like it went all the way to another galaxy.
Sad. That would be sad.
Well, like for them too, it's like probably like another. For us, it'd be almost like another galaxy, which would be crazy. Interstellar.
I'd say Mars. Mars is good enough for me.
Yeah, but for them at the time, going to the moon probably wasn't like a possible thing. We're just trying to learn how to get off the ground.
That's true. We already kind of see Mars
so it's
as
very
a possible
monumental
thing. Yeah.